Alright, what is going on, guys? This is Seth Ward here, and today I am back with another college football prediction video, and happy Labor Day. We are off on Monday, or I'm off on Monday from work. So today I got another college football prediction video, as you guys saw from my yesterday's post from the Texas versus Michigan, and also the Tennessee versus NC State game. Those two games will be very interesting. Well, I totally forgot about the Nebraska versus Colorado Buffaloes and their rivalry game this upcoming Saturday. So this is going to be another epic game. There's going to be so many good games on Saturday for week number 2. As you guys know, that last year was a very anticipated game with Coach Prime and then Matt Rule, two guys that probably don't know if they like each other, but it is what it is with that. And of course, it's a rivalry game, so it's going to be more anticipated, more intense, and of course, it will be at Lincoln, Nebraska on Memorial Stadium. So this is going to be a crazy atmosphere, a crazy game, in my opinion. Last year's game was pretty much intense until like the late second half, and then I think Nebraska just couldn't do anything on offense with the quarterback Gibbs, I think his name was, but he left. But Nebraska this year may have a shot. Who knows? They actually looked pretty good last week. Colorado, on the other hand, their defense is still skeptical, but their offense is always on point with Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. And then Jimmy Horn as well. Their running game, though, still going to be an issue with Colorado. So let's just see how it goes on Saturday. But as we go forward, I do like to do slideshows this year instead of like last year just going through the ESPN thing. I like to do it my own way and see what you guys think about this as well. So also bear with me, and if I mess up on anything, please comment down below as well. And yeah, let's get going. Okay, so like I said before, the location is at Memorial Stadium, which is in Lincoln, Nebraska, and this will be a 7:30 p.m. night game, which I am excited for because I like night games, especially at 7:30. It's just epic. I like 3:30 p.m. games sometimes, maybe not so much, but I do like 12 o'clock games. I have much more respect for those as well. So yeah, it's a 7:30 p.m. night game, so it's gonna be a prime time game for a rivalry game. So that's gonna be epic to see. All right, last meeting. As you guys know that from my previous segment, that yes, Nebraska lost to Colorado 36-14. It was a close game, I think, early on, and then Shedeur Sanders and then Colorado just blasted Nebraska in the second half. And as you guys see right there, and all that talk and all that trash that like Matt Rule or like Nebraska or everybody was doubting Coach Prime. Everyone just the vibes and the aura and all the other stuff. It was riding high until Oregon game, and then after that, we all know that Colorado is Colorado. They're not good on defense. Okay, so previous game, like I said before, Colorado is 1-0, Nebraska 1-0. Hey, 1-0 is 1-0. It is what it is. Though we have some skeptical things with Colorado, their defense and their running game. Their offense, their passing game is on point. Shedeur Sanders is one of the best quarterbacks in the college football. Could be possibly the Heisman finalist, in my opinion. Dylan Raiola, I mean, Nebraska, low-key, might be actually sneaky good this year. I think they are a lot better than they were last year, but knowing Matt Rule as a fan from the Panthers, though it's the Panthers, we're talking about college football here, he doesn't really pan out well in big prime games, but that's my opinion from his previous years with Baylor. I think it was like, 1-10 or something against top 25 teams. Who knows? But anyways, that's just week 1. Colorado won against NDSU, who's actually a good team in the FCS. Almost lost, but they won 31-26. And then Nebraska won 40-7 against UTEP. All right, so the matchup predictor has Nebraska winning 60.5% over Colorado 39.5%, mainly because it's at Nebraska, and that is also a hostile environment, great atmosphere, one of the best fan bases in the country because there's nothing else to do in Nebraska. Sorry, nothing else to do in Nebraska. So that's just my perspective. I know there's probably a lot of stuff that you can do in Nebraska. So they have the ESPN bet odds. They have Colorado as the underdog with points +7, Nebraska with a -7 for the spread. And they total his 57 points under and over. And then I don't know, the money line is +180, and then Nebraska is under 215. So there you have it for the matchup predictor. And let's go ahead and go through the top 3 players of the week on offense. And of course, we also do defense, and then I'll show you the the team stats. So yeah. All right. So quarterback Shedeur Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, beast of a quarterback. I think he should win the Heisman this year. 26 completions to 34 attempts, 445 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interceptions, and a QBR rating of 81.8, which is really, really good. The only thing I have an issue with Shedeur Sanders is he holds the ball too long in the pocket, and then he tries to make a crazy play with scrambling out of pocket, but he's still one of the best quarterbacks. That's the only issue I have with Shedeur Sanders. I hope he doesn't hold, just passes away, throw it out of bounds, avoids the sacks. That's the only thing I had issues with him from last year, and of course against NDSU sometimes. But I'm not an expert. It was just my opinion. So running back, we have Dylan Hayden. He had 9 carries, 20 yards, averaged only about 2.2 yards average, and 0 touchdowns. The running game, not great at all. But the wide receivers are insane with Travis Hunter, and then of course Jimmy Horn Jr. was a dog against NDSU. 7 receptions, 198 receiving yards, averaged about 28.3 yards per catch, and 1 touchdown. Also, Travis Hunter making the amazing acrobatic catches with 132 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns, which is crazy. All right, so we have Patrick Mahomes 2.0, as though fans want that to be perceived as Dylan Raiola, who's a beast as a freshman. 19 completions to 27 yards, 238 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, a QBR rating of 78.3. Probably didn't play in the second half because they just pretty much dominated UTEP. All right, so running back, we got Emmett Johnson, who had a good game as well, with 8 carries, 71 rushing yards, 8.9 yards per rush, and 0 touchdowns. Isaiah Nair was 6 receptions, my bad. 121 receiving yards, 20.2 yards per catch, and 1 touchdown. And then also also other running backs that scored was Dante Dowell. I think it's Dowell. Could be with the D with the silent D. Had 1 touchdown, and of course Gabe Irvin Jr. had 2 touchdowns as well. All right, so the top 3 players of the week for defense. We have Trevor Woods, who is a linebacker, had 10 total tackles, 6 solo, and 1 TFL, which is tackle for loss. And of course, Shiloh Sanders, safety, 9 tackles, 6 solo tackles, 1 TFL. Shiloh Sanders needs to stop doing these late hits because sometimes it's going to cost their defense, because he had a dirty hit on Cam Miller against NDSU, I think, last game. So he needs to stop doing those late hits because that can cost the team. He's still a good player, but he does a lot of dirty hits. So that's just my perspective of watching Colorado. Safety, we got Savion Riley. He had 7 total tackles, 5 tackles, and 1 TFL. So that's a lot of TFLs on their defense. All right, so top 3 players of the week on defense for Nebraska. We have Malcolm Hartzog Jr., 5 total tackles, 5 solo, and 1 interceptions. Micah, I think is first name. And then I don't know how to pronounce the last name. I'm just going to say Bayer with a silent G, but I could totally pronounce his name wrong. Mackay, I think it's Mackay Bayer. If I pronounce that name wrong, I'm sorry. Just destroy me in the comments because I'm sometimes terrible with pronouncing names, even though there's Google that's free as well. So 5 total tackles, 2 solo, 1.5 TFLs. He probably had an assisted tackle for loss as well, but still pretty good for Mackay Bayer. Linebacker Vincent Shavers Jr. had 3 total tackles and 2 solo tackles as well. And of course, I forgot to say Malcolm had 1 interception. And of course, Ramir Stewart, who's a defensive back, had 1 interception for the defense. So defense played really good against UTEP on Monday or on Saturday. Okay, so lastly, we got the full team stats. Colorado allowed 449 total yards, though they did force turnovers. And of course, they did have 0 turnovers. And then Colorado's offense, which is the passing game, 500 and total yards. Pretty good on their passing. Their rushing is an issue, and of course their pass coverage on defense is also a issue as well. North Dakota State had a lot more time possession than Colorado, because Colorado was just so fast that you didn't even have time to think because Shedeur Sanders just dominated the passing game. They only had 23 minutes and 16 seconds compared to 36 minutes and 44 seconds to North Dakota State. And the team stats wise, you got UTEP only had 205 yards. Nebraska's defense is always pretty good or solid, in my opinion. They had 507 total yards, and they had 1 turnover. They forced 2 turnovers for UTEP, and they had more time possession than UTEP with 38 minutes and 32 seconds, 21 minutes and 28 seconds for UTEP. Nebraska is always known for the defense. Their offense, on the other hand, has been questionable, though we'll see how Dylan Raiola faces off a good defense or a good team, in my opinion. Let's see how that turns out on Saturday. So, my final prediction, I know a lot of people will probably be shocked by this, or I think it's expected because guess what? It's at Lincoln Memorial Stadium, so I think that Nebraska will win by minus 10 points. I think they're going to have a touchdown in the fourth quarter, and then they're going to kick a field goal at the end to pretty much ice the game. I think that Colorado will struggle with their defensive passing because Dylan Raiola is a really good quarterback. Is a passing type quarterback, but the running game, they got to fix the running game because Nebraska is really solid on defense, and they can definitely easily stop the running game. So once they stop the running game, then they can pretty much utilize how to try to stop Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter on offense. But that's just my only issues with Colorado. I'm going to take Nebraska on this one with minus 10 points versus Colorado. Also, comment down below what you guys think about this game. And yeah, I'm excited for this game. It's going to be a night game. It's going to be epic, so I can't wait. And it's going to be an interesting game to see how well Shedeur Sanders does at Memorial Stadium in Nebraska, because that atmosphere is legit too. One of the best college football fan bases in the country as well. And also, before you guys comment, I am not a fan of Nebraska. Well, I used to like Nebraska, but dislike kind of Matt Rule. I do like Colorado, but I'm not trying to be biased here. It's just my perspective of this game. And so, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this game. And comment down below. Subscribe as well. Seth Ward here. Y'all have a great rest of the day. Peace out.